Subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.
Myself Sangeeta Devi from GK Jain School, Rayapura. To have a more update on our educational videos, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel GK Jain School. And if you like our videos, you can just like on it. We are going to continue our class of the chapter 1 in the 11th standard accountancy, introduction to accounting. We were discussing of the many topics in that. First we were discussing about the evaluations of the accounting and objectives and accounting cycle, functions of accounting. In today's class we are going to move on to the next topic of this chapter, importance of accounting. Why there is an importance for accounting, we are going to see. Here we have around 9 points in the importance of the accounting. First, it is having as a systematic records, preparation of financial statement, assessment of progress, aid to decision making, satisfies legal requirements, information to the interested groups, legal evidence, computation of tax, settlement during merger. So these are the 9 topics we have. We are going to discuss one by one. Before going on to the importance, we have generally what is the importance of accounting. Definitely there should be an accounts maintained. If it can be of any company or any shop, it is not a problem. But there should be an accounts maintained. Then only they can know their growth wise or their earning profit or anything. Because whenever any company is started, their main motive will be what? Earning of a profit, and they should not earn any loss. That will be their main motto. But if they want to know if they achieved the profit or not, how they will know? If they maintain an account. So that is the general importance about accounting. So that all the points we will discuss first. We have the systematic records. Yes, in the accounting, all it will be recorded in the systematic way. If example, let me take off for 2 days, any date we can take it off. I am taking it off 1st June. So 1st June I am taking it off. And some customers are coming to us and buying some goods from us, and then we will take it off the 2nd date. There is a lot of customers coming on the 2nd day also. And what you will have is a date wise all the records will be maintained. Whether it can be a purchase or a sales or any expenses, date wise, 1st June, 2nd June, like the date wise will be maintained. At the end of the financial year only, the accounts will be closed. Till that we will be entering all those records, whatever is happening day to day, we will be recording. So that is what is the systematic records. All the records will be there in the systematic, like the date wise and all the transaction wise, it will be recorded. And it will be subdivided into the particular heads and will be also recorded. If it is first date I am doing purchase, it will be under the purchase. If 2nd date I am doing sales, then it will be there under the sales. So depending on the transactions, it will be recorded in the particular head. And it is one more very important, when it has a financial, that is a financial in nature only we will be recording. If it in terms of money or money's worth, if it is involved, then we will have a record. If it is not having, I am doing some purchase but someone is giving me at a free of cost, it is not having any, they are not getting a cost from us, that is like a gift, we will not enter under accounts because it is not having a monetary value. If it is not having a monetary value, definitely we will not enter in the records, accounting records. And that also the particular head also we will not record. So whenever it is financial in nature, only we will be recording. So this is what is about the systematic records. All the transactions will be recorded date wise, and one more thing, when it is having a financial in nature only, we will be recording. Next we go for the preparation of financial statement. Financial statement or final accounts are same. For the financial statements you need to prepare 2. One will be trading, another one is P&L, and the next one you will have is the balance sheet. So for the preparations of these final accounts, you need to have these all the 3 accounts being calculated. Then only you can have the final financial statement. By preparation of this financial statement, what you will get? You will get as the what is our. Definitely we are going to have a growth from the 0 point to the higher level. All our company, whenever it is set up, they want to have a growth only. They don't want to go down. So when they want to have a growth, how they can know about the growth wise they have improved or not? By the preparation of these final accounts only, they can know about their growth. And if they earned profit or loss, if they want to know, in the trading account, what you will calculate is gross profit. Okay, if you go for this P&L, you will calculate is a net profit. Okay, profit wise, if they want to know they have earned a profit or incurred a loss, how they will know? By the financial statement preparation only they can come to know about the profit or a loss what is happening in the company. So this is what is the main important preparations of the final accounts, how it can be prepared whenever accounting records is being maintained in a proper way. Next, assessment of the progress. Yes, very important. Like if a student is writing a test, what is there? They want to assess the student. They have a good progress in the growth wise, they have improved or not from the first midterm to the quarterly or to the second midterm, they have improved or not. How we are going to assess them? By keeping a test. Likewise, here also we are going to have the assessment. How we will have in the accounting records, we will have the assessment. If they have the assessment in the accounting records, obviously they can come to know what is their weak point, what is their weakness, and what is their strength. Everything can be known by the accounting records. I'll give you a small example. Let me take off a purchase and sales. Okay, by the accounting records, if the sales is very less, let me take it off, it is only 10 lakh. Okay, per year it is only 10 lakh. In that situation, our purchase is about 12 lakh. Okay, by the preparations of the final accounts, we came to know purchase we made for 12 lakh, but only the sales is made only for 10 lakh. Then they can come to know about the weakest point. Because sales should be more, then only they can earn a profit. If the sales is less, then how they will be earning a profit? So they can come to know the weakness. After identifying, they can make a correct decision to identify or rectify it. After identifying, we should definitely need to rectify the mistakes. What has happened, why the salespersons or the sales representative is not having a proper sale in the market, what is our drawback, everything can be known, assessed on the accounting. So that is what is the next point is aid to decision making. Aid to decision making is somewhat related to the assessment of the progress. After identifying our weakest point, what is the correct decision we are going to take? How we are going to improve our sales? What are the other marketing techniques we are going to involve? That is what is the decision making. This will be made by the concerned people. If it is a small, then the owner will be deciding. If you go for the higher joint stock company and all, there will be a more persons like accountant or the financial head will be there. Then they will suggest that the sales of these years is very less. What are the marketing people are doing? Everything they can make a decision by knowing their weakest point. Okay, this is what is the aid to decision making. So it is giving, the accounting is giving us the report of what is the weakness or what is the strength and what are the things we need to change. Everything will be given in the accounting reports, and based on the accounting reports, definitely we can make a decision. In the correct decisions can be made. Next is the satisfied legal requirements. This is very important when we go for the legal requirements, where we have a lot of things like if you go for the individual wise itself, we will be having PF, ESI. So for the individual employees also we are paying PF, ESI, and many contributions are being there for the employees. But how we are knowing that they are being given a proper amount of PF and ESI? By maintaining the accounts of the individual, we can have the report. Okay, this much of the salary they are earning, so we can have this much of amount as a PF. Like that, based on their accounts of the individual, we can come to know about it. So this is what is the satisfy legal requirements is when they will be satisfied. Okay, when they have a proper accounts of all the individuals. Okay, for this much of a salary, this is what is the PF. They have some fixation also. So it is satisfying all the legal requirements. So because the PF and ESI office will they have the accounting records of a company, by go through that only they will come to know that okay, this is what is their limitation they are fixing. So that is will happen in the only in the accounting. Next point we have is that information to interested groups. Information to interested groups is we have a lot of interested groups. Let me give you some example. We have as a financial institution, okay, financial institution. We have employees, outsiders. Outsider in the case it can be of a government, or any other legal persons. Any outsider it can be, and it can be of a creditors. Okay, these are all the these are all the interested groups, or the groups of the people who wants to know the informations of the company. Financial institution, if they have borrowed any amount of a loan from the bank or a financial institution, then they want to have a proper check of the accounts. Then obviously the information they will get only from the accounting. And for the employees also, I told you about the PF and ESI. For all the individuals is given equal importance in the legal requirements, then they can know only through the accounting. For the outsider like a government or any other persons, also the company is running in a proper way and they are maintaining a proper account, so they can know only get the information only through the accounting records. Next, for the creditors, if they are borrowing amount from the outsider like a creditors, then obviously what is their growth and what is the year-wise profit, everything needs to be known to them. So this is what is the information. All the people who wants to get the informations about the company, then they can get only through the accounting records. Next is legal evidence. Legal evidence is whenever any problem arises. If for example, let me take off A company is there, B company is there. Growth wise A has grown to the more level. Okay, A's growth was more. Now the B's growth is somewhat lesser, so he is putting some case on the A that he is having some illegal activities. Like that he is the B is assuming that like A is having some illegal, that is why the growth is very high like that. But if the court wants to know about it is whether legal or illegal, then that the court can decide only by the accounting records. It will act as a evidence or the proof for that company. No, I am not doing any illegal. I am only having the profit only. My company's growth is in the normal. How they can verify? They can verify only through the accounting records. That is will be act as a evidence for the court. Next, two more points we have. That is computation of tax. Yes, obviously today in the scenario we have a tax to be paid. It can be of a two-way of a tax, where you will have a direct tax and another one is a indirect tax. In the direct tax, what you will do is it will be directly paid by the individuals. It will be from the salaries or any other sources. We have a lot of other income head, where you will have a house property and salaries and other incomes. We have a lot of options. So all will be paid directly to the tax department. But if you see of the indirect taxes, it will be paid by the small things also. We are paying, but indirectly we are paying. If you go to a shop and you are buying a notebook, let me take of example, it is buying a notebook, and for the notebook, if it is cost rupees, it will cost about 25 rupees. Let me take a small note, it is costing about 25 rupees. In the 25 rupees, it will be written MRP inclusive of tax. So it is inclusive of the tax only we are paying to the shop. And all the companies from us, they will get it and they will pay to the tax department. So this is what is the indirect tax. And here for all these tax calculation, definitely the accounts needs to be maintained. Then only they can, the government can know about the assessment or the computation of the tax. Definitely, if you have nowadays at present we have a GST under one head itself, everything is covering under all the companies. Before we have a lot of other different taxes. You have export, sales and export duty, customs duty. We have a lot of tax. But here at all came into one head, that is goods and service tax. Now in the goods and service tax, what you will do is, that will be a computation of the tax for what is the profit. Let me take off it is the 2020. What is their profit? If it is 1 lakh or 2 lakh or 3 lakh, we have certain limitation. Till that they don't need to pay a tax. If it goes beyond it, then they are definitely needs to pay a tax. So how they will know this profit is this much or profit or has been increased? How they will come to know? They will come to know only by the accounting records which is maintained by the concerned company. Okay. Next we have have is a settlement during merger. Like we have a merger example, understand, and then we will go for the settlement during merger. We have a, let me take off same example AB. Okay. It can be of any scenario. I will be giving you two situations. One is A company is not in a good situation to continue the business. So the B is ready to take off the A company. So they planned to combine A and B. Okay. Otherwise, voluntarily also, A and B on their own wish, they want to combine both the companies together, A and B. Now, this time during the merger, it is what is the merger, where both the companies join together, two or more companies when they join together, we tell it as a merger. During this merger, what it will happen is, accounts separately will be maintained by A. Here also account will be maintained by the B separately. Now during the merger, what you will do, they want to have a settlement, right? That A is going to go off, they are going to combine, but A is going to leave the company. Then A's accounts needs to be transferred to B. For this settlement, only if they have the proper maintenance of the accounts, only they can have the settlement. If they are not having the balance financial statements properly, or what is the liabilities, what is the asset they have not mentioned, then settlement during the merger will be very difficult. So only through the accounting records, settlement during the merger will be easier. So these are the 9 points we are discussing under importance of accounting. Let me have a quick review of it. Systematic records, all the records will be maintained in a systematic way, like a date wise. Preparation of financial accounts. In the preparation of financial accounts, we can know our growth and whether we are earning profit or loss also. Assessment, what is our weakness point, we can have a progress by assessing the accounts. After assessing, we can have a quick what is a decision we can make to rectify our mistakes, like that we can do. Satisfy legal requirements is we have a different PF, Provident Fund, ESI, we have employees, schemes and all, we have a lot of things. It is not only in ESI, we have other schemes also. For that all your legal requirements, so if you maintain the individual accounts properly, only we can have a satisfy of it. Information to interested groups. We have a lot of groups, different peoples are want to know about the company's detail, then they can know only through the accounting records. Legal evidence, if any persons file a case against our company as it is illegally they are earning money, then through our accounting records, it is act as a evidence to it. Computation of a tax. In the computation of a tax for the GST filing and all, if we have a proper accounting records only, it will be helpful for the government to know what is our profit or turnover. Settlement during merger, when the two or more companies wants to join together, at the joining they want to settle one company. So for the settle, if they have maintained the proper accounts only, what is their asset, what is their liabilities, everything we can come to know. So these are the importance of accounting. In the next sessions, we will be discussing about the basic terminologies in accounting and branches of accounting. Thanks for watching.